Looking at parts H2, the top of the conning tower, K19 and K20, you wouldn't think it would take much to construct this area of the ship. For the plastic parts, that's true, but when it comes to the photo etch, this is the most photo etch intense area of the kit yet. Starting with parts K19 and K20, the front of them will be cut off, and the section where there are windows will be replaced with photo etch. Of course, the hatches are also going to be replaced with photo etch hatches. On the conning tower, all of the viewing slits will be removed and replaced with photo etch along with its hatch, and a screen will be installed in front of it. On part H2, all 4 splinter shields will be removed and replaced with photo etch. The plastic support struts underneath the position for the Bofors mount will be removed and replaced with photo etch. And photo etch support struts will also be constructed to replace the large plastic support strut that goes underneath the gun directors. Since there is a lot of work that needs to be done on this area of the ship, I'm not going to do it in one video. I'll split it out over 2 videos. In this video, I'll do the plastic construction, install the photo etch windows behind the conning tower, and install the rear splinter shields. All of the plastic components for this part of the superstructure are well molded. There isn't much flashing. Actually, there really isn't any flashing at all, and the details are crisp. After removing the components from their sprue, the excess plastic is removed with clippers, files, and sanding. To accommodate all of the photo etch, a lot of plastic details need to be removed. I start with clippers to remove the majority of the plastic, but I do have to be careful not to cut too close to the plastic that I want to retain, otherwise I will gouge it out. So long as I leave a decent margin to the plastic below and don't try and cut off too much plastic at once, using clippers is quite safe. Once I'm done with the clippers, I use a variety of files to smooth out the surface. Unfortunately, this process does leave scratches, so after the files, I use sandpaper to create a nice smooth finish. Now that all the plastic components have been prepared, I can start with assembly. I'm going to start with the conning tower. This is an easy component to assemble because the bulkheads come in just 2 pieces, unlike those horrible 5-inch barbettes that I had to build in 4 pieces. You can see how much easier it is when the bulkheads just come in 2 pieces. I am able to hold them together in my fingers and then simply apply extra thin plastic cement. After only a few seconds, the glue has sufficiently set for me to be able to handle the components and install the roof of the conning tower. Once again, it is bonded in place using extra thin plastic cement. The only thing that I need to be really careful about during this whole process is to not put a finger on any of the seam lines. If I do that, capillary reaction will draw the glue out of the seam line onto the face of the component and cause damage. With the conning tower constructed, I can now do a test fit. I want to understand how parts K19 and K20 fit on the model, just to understand the consequences of cutting the front window sections off of them. I can see that they do fit very well. They butt right up against the locator line and end exactly at the end of deck H2. This means that I can remove the window section on these components and still precisely locate them on the kit. After clipping off the window section, I then remove the hatches using the same method that I've used all along. First use clippers to remove the majority of the excess plastic, then a file to sand the area flat, followed by sandpaper to smooth out the area and remove scratches. To install the bulkheads onto part H2, I start by aligning one of the bulkheads as I saw during the test fit, and then while holding it in position, I glue it in place using extra thin plastic cement. The process is then repeated for the other bulkhead. Although I am quite sure that the bulkheads are in the correct position, I can't be sure that they are standing vertically and that they truly are in the correct position. So I quickly do a test fit while the glue has not fully set, so that if I need to make an adjustment, I can easily make an adjustment. It was at this point that I realized that I needed the upper levels of the superstructure to be in place for this test fit to truly be accurate. So I quickly cut off the funnel uptakes and the upper level of the superstructure. It's just 2 large pieces of plastic and placed them in their correct location. With them in place, I can be sure that everything does fit together properly and that I shouldn't have problems going forward. At this point, this level of the superstructure is really treated as 2 separate components. There's the conning tower and then the aft section, which is the majority of it, which contains the chart house, some radar rooms, the captain's sea cabin, and of course the uptakes for the funnels. Since the glue for the aft section of this assembly has not fully set, I need to be very careful with handling it. So for now, I'm just going to set it aside and continue to work on the conning tower section. The conning tower has a variety of seam lines that need to be filled. Fill these seams with plastic putty. At this point, I haven't removed any of the details on the conning tower. I'll remove those details while I am removing the plastic putty. After giving the plastic putty a good amount of time to dry, it can be removed at first by using a file and then by using sandpaper to smooth out the scratches. By now, the glue for the aft section of the assembly has fully cured, so it is safe to handle. This means that it is time to begin the photo etch assembly, starting with the windows. This photo etch has grooves cut through it, so it is very easy to bend. You don't need a photo etch folding tool. The first step is to roughly bend the photo etch into the approximate shape that it needs to follow. This will just make it easier to position the component before the glue is applied. With hindsight, the one thing that I would do differently when installing these windows would be to first attach the conning tower to the aft section of this assembly. There's no reason to actually have it separate. I thought it would be necessary at the time, but I think I just complicated things for myself. First, I placed a roughly folded piece of photo etch on the deck below, and then I place H2 on top of the plastic superstructure. With all of the plastic components in their correct alignment, I carefully adjust the photo etch windows to its correct position. Once I'm happy with the position of the photo etch, I carefully apply a small drop of medium viscosity superglue and then superglue accelerator to cause the glue to instantly set. The process is repeated at the other end of the photo etch, being careful to align each panel with the edge of the plastic deck H2. Once happy with the alignment of the photo etch along the full length of the deck, the other end is tacked in place using the same method. Medium viscosity superglue is carefully applied and accelerator is applied on top of the superglue to make it instantly set. There is a small gap between the top of the photo etch windows and the bottom of the plastic deck, so I fill that with medium viscosity superglue. All of the excess superglue is then removed using a file and the surface sanded smooth. The whole process is then repeated for the starboard side of the ship. Now that I'm happy with how the photo etch, the aft assembly and the conning tower are all sitting together, I glue the conning tower to the aft assembly using extra thin plastic cement, and then bond the photo etch to the conning tower using medium viscosity superglue. Now that I've opened up a clear view into the interior of this part of the superstructure, I need to have an understanding of what the internal structure looks like. Normally with a porthole it wouldn't matter, it's too small to look through, but with windows this large it is going to be quite easy to look into this area of the ship. From the schematic I can see that there is an internal bulkhead that blocks off access to the aft section of the superstructure, and of course the conning tower, the curve of it continues through the interior of the ship. However, there is a clear view from one side of the ship to the other side, so I mustn't put in an internal bulkhead that blocks that view. Just one to block off access to the aft of the superstructure. To form this internal bulkhead, I cut a section of styrene stock to length, inserted it into the gap, and glued it in place using extra thin plastic cement. Moving on to the next section of photo etch, the splinter shields. I'm going to start with what I think will be the easier of the two splinter shields. These ones have two straight edges at the front and back of them, and only a single curved section between the two. The reason why I think these splinter shields will be easier to install is because they have long straight edges that I can align with the plastic component. After removing the components from their frets, I file off the excess metal and then gently bend them in my fingers to get a smooth curve. At this point, the curve does not need to be accurate. In fact, if anything, they should be slightly overbent. In my experience, when bending back out a component that has been slightly overbent, you actually get it to conform to the shape a little bit better. To install these splinter shields, I'm going to start with the long straight edge. I'm starting with this end of the splinter shield because there is a clear place where it needs to sit on the deck. It needs to sit right up against these supports for the gun directors, and of course it needs to be right on the edge of the deck. To initially glue it in place, I use medium viscosity superglue that I apply to the edge of the deck. The photo etch splinter shield is then carefully put into position and its bond is reinforced with extra thin superglue. Now that one side of both splinter shields has been firmly secured in place and they have both been overbent, I can adjust the curve of the photo etch to conform to the full length of the deck. Once I have the other end of the splinter shield correctly located and the curve nicely conforming to the plastic, I bond it in place using extra thin superglue. At this point I am putting on quite a lot of superglue. This is going to help fill the gap between the photo etch and the plastic, and it can be easily removed on a flat surface like this using a file. After removing the majority of the superglue with the file, I sand the area with progressively finer sandpaper until I have a nice, smooth, scratch-free surface. This is where I'm going to end this video. In the next video, I'm going to continue working on this area of the ship. I'm going to install the circular splinter shields that go around the Bofors guns, the support struts that go under them, the screen that goes in front of the conning tower, and the support struts that go underneath the gun director. If you don't want to wait for the scheduled release of videos and want to watch them when they are uploaded, consider becoming a channel member by clicking the join button below. If you would like to support the channel, like and subscribe, and as always, questions are welcome in the comments. Thank you for watching. Cheers.